Hi, I'm Rob, and in this Gems of War video I'm going to show you a few different teams you can use for this faction assault in the Dark Pits. Some really quick, low-level, easy teams to just whiz through the early stages, and then some fun teams to deal with the rest of them. What I usually recommend is that you do pop to the shop and take a look at Tier 1. This gives you the Potion of Enchantment, which means all your troops start enchanted at the start of each and every battle, but do not buy this just yet. Always check to see if you have your horde level to 100 in the said faction. So do that, you pop to the underworld, take a look in the Dark Pits. This is where we are. And if your horde level is at 100 at least, then you will already be given the Potion of Enchantment. It's there. You can preview your horde level by moving the D-pad up or down. So if you're on a low, really close to this, like 98, 99, make sure you get it to level 100 just by spending a few more of your resources to get it to 100, because then that potion is locked and it is stored forever. And every time you do a delve in this area, you will be given a Potion of Enchantment for free, and you can take it further if you go to level 105. The same then applies to a Potion of Explosion, and then on level 115 a Potion of Rejuvenation, and so it goes on. So make sure you do that first. If you do not have your horde level to level 100 there, then obviously you can just do it by buying the potion from the shop for just a mere 30 gems. So the first team, really low level, really easy to use. All we're going to have is a couple of midge swarms. These deal scatter damage twice to all enemies, which is really cool. Two of them in there. They are a beast type troop, so if you do have the Forest Guardian, this gives all beasts a 50% start with mana. Now the Forest Guardian is a higher level troop, so if you don't have that, then chuck in another midge swarm if you have it, or something else which does damage to all, which you can find simply by typing in damage to all into the search bar like that, and you will find all the troops which do damage to all. And you can take it one stage further as well by putting in beast, if you like, just to get that nice synergy between all beast type troops. Alright, so Wicked Scythe is there as well, a nice easy low level damage to all weapon, very small mana cost, just 10, and we are in a Warden class to get that extra 50%. But like I say, if you do not have a Forest Guardian, then there are other ways to get a nice 50% start. Warden is the only beast class at the moment, but you can have another one which has a 50% start by choosing something like Geomancer that has it as well. That would only be applicable to you, but it doesn't matter because the weapon does a lot of damage anyway. Or you could even go something like Archer class. That's another way to go about it. Start battles with 50%. But this will be really easy. +2 green, +1 brown, -1 red. Yeah, and very straightforward to use. All we're going to be doing is charging up whoever gets charged up first, be it the Wicked Scythe or the Midge Swarm. The Midge Swarm got charged up without me even having to do anything, so just literally cast a spell and win. That cheery looking creature will have to wait a while. You can zip straight across the room to the end here, nice and quick and simple. There's cheery old Isabel, looking grumpy as ever. Who took the jam out of her donut? So in that case we just cast Wicked Scythe because we were ready absolutely instantly because of the low level cost. So you can just literally whiz across in 3 stages straight to the end like this. Really easy, really quick. You can dot around the rest of the rooms at this stage if you like, picking up a bigger bonus multiplier for the room. Nothing wrong with doing that, but for the benefit of the video I'm just doing this quicker. And we still had the Wicked Scythe ready to cast, so really low level, really easy. But now I'll go on to another team. For the second team, we'll change things around slightly. This time we're going to use Daenerys from Game of Thrones. I mean Saga. Saga from Gems of War. Definitely nothing to do with Daenerys Targaryen from Game of Thrones at all. No resemblance at all. No inspiration there whatsoever. Absolutely complete fluke. Anyway, 2 of her. She deals damage to all enemies, boosted by blue and frozen enemies. Summons an ice storm at the start of battle as well, which is nice because that is blue. And King Oberon is here because all Fae allies start with 50% mana. And as well as that, he gives life and magic to all allies, which is pretty cool. And also enchants Faes as well. And Saga is indeed a Fae. We're going to be in Frost Mage class. This is a Fae class, which means now the hero will start with 50% mana at the same time. And we're still sticking to our nice damage to all weapon. You don't have to have Wicked Scythe, just have anything you like, but it is preferred if it doesn't mana block Saga, which is basically using green or blue, so try and avoid that if you can. The reason why this is cool is because it gives a 25% chance to freeze a random enemy when an ally casts a spell. We're going to freeze someone at the start anyway, while being immune to frozen ourselves. While Anti-Magic Sphere reduces damage from spells by 20%. There is the mana source in this where you can start with 50% mana, but obviously we don't need it because we're going to start with 50% anyway. So instead of that, we have Watery Binding. All blue allies gain 4 life. Deluge, submerge a random ally on 4 or 5 gem matches. Water Mastery. And Mystic Channel, because Saga is indeed a Fae and Mystic, so she benefits from that at the same time. So again, really easy to use. The banner for this will be +2 green, +1 blue, -1 brown Ocularan banner. Alright, so again, another nice easy team to use this one. All we'll be doing is, well, getting lucky at the start if you want, and just casting Daenerys Saga. Saga. It's nothing to do with Game of Thrones. At all. Mother of Dragons, one of her other many names. She had about 45 different names in that program. The Unburnt, Breaker of Chains. Trying to think of others. What an awesome program that was. Final season was a bit iffy. Seemed to squeeze about potentially 3 seasons worth of action into like the last 2 programs. But yeah, it was a fun ride while it lasted. And straight over to the end. So as ever, a lot of these teams will last a lot longer than this single run of battles which I'm showing here. I'm only doing this so I can show a nice variety of different battles, or teams even. If you don't kill things in one go, then we've got our Daenerys Saga next. We've got 2 lots of them before we even have to think about charging up everyone again and going again. So really easy to use team, that one. Claim your rewards. For this next team, it's again nice and easy to use, and we're having 2 times King Mikhail's up top. These are really cool. They explode a row which generates mana, deal damage to all enemies, and deal 9 more if I am enraged. And you get enraged simply by gaining brown. And when you're enraged, you deal 1.5 times attack damage and ignore enemy traits. So that's really cool, and why I have both of these up top. And yet again, stick in your favourite damage to all weapon in the 3rd slot there. And we're in Knight class for this. Knight class is pretty handy on this. Useful traits, if not outstanding, they're just okay. Stone Wall, Protector, Vanguard, these aren't all essential. Some of them are kind of meaningless, but the ones that are useful are really, really good. Dawn's Aura, Armor of Light, and Lightbringer, and Urska Major are the ones for this. And the banner wise, we're going to go for a Talon banner, +2 yellow, +1 green, -1 blue. So again, damage to all is the strategy. Any skull damage when we're enraged is going to really, really hurt the opposition. Everybody's starting with 50% mana as well because of this troop here, Urskula. All Urska allies start with 50% mana. And interestingly, you can actually go with Sir Quentin Hadley as well on this if you don't have this one, because he gives all knights a 50% mana start, which is really cool. So that would also work. Not sure if I was already charged then. I wasn't actually paying much attention, to be honest. I was daydreaming out the window thinking it's a nice sunny day and I'm looking forward to getting outside. So next up. So these teams will last, you know, a decent amount into this. Get the second one charged up so we can cast them back to back. Anywhere will do because they're going to die unless they get a cheeky summon, which means we're going to have to give them another slap. Out of it, sunshine. And our troop at the bottom was actually charged up then as well, which actually deals scatter damage, which helps pick off any lingerers that were like lying around on just a couple of health points, which is often really, really handy. So looking for yellow at the start if we can. Bingo bango. Got two of them charged. This may work out this time. Oh no, they're all going to die. So like I was saying, even if you got like somebody lingering around on just a few health points after that, you can cast the troop at the bottom, do that scatter damage, and finish everybody off. Grab your rewards. Just going to go back actually on that team and just show you what I mean about that actually, while I think about it. So we go down to Sir Quentin Hadley. Probably quicker this way. Like he gives all knight allies a 50% start with mana. So you can have him if you like. It is a little bit more technical, so you do have to look around for converting purple to yellow and green to skulls. Then does deal damage to 2 random allies. But because we're in knight class, we get 50% start, and King Mikhail still gets a 50% mana start because he is Urska and a knight. So Ursula, you can choose her or Sir Quentin Hadley to give the team a 50% start. So next up is another super easy to use team with extra chances of instant deaths this time. We've got Black Manacles. This deals damage to all enemies with a 20% chance to devour a random enemy. As well as that, we're in Archer class and we have a 15% chance for skull damage to be lethal. So we've got various ways of just killing the enemy outright here, no matter how powerful they are. We also start battles with 50% mana, which doesn't matter because we will do anyway because of the way the rest of the team works. The main champion talents are Hunt, a Root Trap, Dodge is the main one, but we really like this because of that 15% chance for skull damage to be lethal. Right, King Avalon is here as well, ×2. This deals damage to all enemies again, boosted by Elf, Elemental and Beast allies, and has a summon at the same time. This is really handy for a new or mid-level player because a summon can really save your bacon. And we get a 50% start with all elves, so basically it means the whole team starts with 50% mana. Dokofar is here as well. He deals scatter damage and has a summon. So basically we've got 3 out of 4 troops here have a summon, which is really resilient, makes it really hard to beat. He's also immune to silence, fairy fire, web and mana drain, which is pretty handy. In the same way as the other teams, you'll use these 3 troops to deal the main damage, and we can use Dokofar to finish off any lingerers. So let's just take a quick look at the banner. +2 brown, +1 purple, -1 yellow. So we're looking for brown or purple to get the weapon charged up at first. Again, if you don't have Black Manacles, then just type in damage to all in the search bar and see what you got and pop in your favourite. But the combination of being able to cast the weapon, both the King Avalon's and then the Dokofar, means for quite a few fights it's going to be enough to win many battles before you even have to think about getting these charged up for a second time to dish out that damage yet again. We'll grab some brown. Thank you. Done that. Didn't get any lingerers, but if we did, Dokofar was ready to finish people off. So after this one, I'll show a super easy team. Like, silly easy. Super lazy. You may even have guessed where it's going yet, because you may be surprised I haven't shown it yet. But I thought I'd save it until last. Just in case anybody's still watching. If you are, shout out boom shakalaka in the comments. If you're crazy enough to still be watching this video at this point. But that's good at the same time. Shows your commitment. For this last team, it's the easiest team to use of the lot. And how can we have a brown base team without showing good old Chalcedony? Absolutely crazy. I've done a video on her showing why I think she's actually the most powerful troop in the whole game. It can win games even on high level 500 level faction battles literally on her own, just 3 times Chalcedony and a weapon, and you're going to win. Zonabog is here to help this out because it conjures a dust storm, which is brown, but we're really not going to have to cast it. This is going to be all about Chalcedony. We've got black manacles there just as a backup damage dealer, but I don't think we're going to need it. All construct allies start with 50% mana in the Geomancer, which includes Chalcedony. But one of the most important traits here, or 2 of them, are rock solid is nice. And we need... Oh, why isn't that active? I need to change this. Oh, I know why, because I changed it on a previous video. One of the talents you need to have on this is Stone Mastery. Gain bonus brown mana from brown gem matches. And the reason is we get a 50% mana start with Chalcedony, which means she starts on 6 out of her required 12. And we're in the Slayer banner, which gives +2 brown. So that means with that extra +1 from the champion talents, all we need is a single brown match. Even if it's not a mana surge, we'll get Chalcedony ready to cast. And what she does, if you're not familiar, is create 3 brown gems boosted by all construct allies. So with all construct allies, that will be 12 extra brown gems on top of the 3 she starts with. So that's going to be 15 brown gems created every single turn. This is going to charge the whole team up, cause extra turns. She'll do damage every turn, and you just literally rinse and repeat until everybody's dead, Dave. And some people knew that that little quote, that little phrase had to come at some point in this video. So all we need is a brown or yellow, really. No brown, so we don't care. We'll grab yellow instead then. Right, now, here we go. Bosh, out of it. Don't always get an extra turn on the first round. But as soon as it gets going with all that brown on the board, it becomes really, really hard to stop. Could have cast Manacles then, but decided against it. Because I wanted to give Chalcedony her glory. On to the next room. Pollen count seems to be really high today. I think I'm talking like I've got a bit of a blocked up nose. And that's because I have. It's like woken up with this great big puffy mushroom head kind of thing. But I haven't got a cold. I'm pretty sure it's to do with the high pollen. Hello. They're fighting as if they think they've got a chance. I could cast Manacles. That's because we've been frozen. This is the only downside to this team. So you have to be wary of that. We can still win easily, but it's not always you're going to be frozen. It's going to be quite rare, to be honest. But even when we're losing our turn, it still wins really, really comfortably. You can stick a brown weapon in there that's got a cleanse. There are a couple of choices for that. To get rid of those pesky freezes if you so choose. Alright, on to the last one. I'll just show that actually, just for... Oh, you can't change it now. But basically there's a couple of weapons, Cursed, Hammer and Doomed Sledge I think it is, that both have a cleanse. And you get charged up so easily that it makes it an absolute doddle, to be honest. I'm not going to bother casting Manacles, just going to show how Chalcedony can repeat. You can even choose next enemy down if you want. See if we can get a random skull hit or pick one even. Get rid of that Lingerer that had a mere 1 health point. Don't then. Die normally. I don't care. Again, could have cast Black Manacles, but just showing the way that Chalcedony's spell just repeats and repeats. And repeats, and is super duper uber powerful. So there it is. There's a bunch of teams for you to try out on this faction assault. That is all from me for this video. If you found it in any way useful or helpful, it'd be really cool if you hit that like and subscribe button, because it really does help. Don't forget to grab your rewards. Lots of nice things. Orb of Chaos. Give me my Orb of Wisdom. Just lately, every single time I've been guessing it'll be an Orb of Wisdom, it's been an Orb of Growth. And every time I've guessed it's going to be an Orb of Growth, it's been an Orb of Wisdom. So this is not very good for my guessing game right now. Probably will grab that weapon. I've already got it, but if you haven't got it, it's quite handy. But the only thing I don't like about it is it's tied to the last enemy. Then curses and drains all mana from them. Curse is really good, but draining the mana from the last enemy is not always the best, unless they just happen to be using a different mana color to the rest of the team. Because quite often, if the troops above them are using a mana color which they use at the same time, they're often not going to have that much mana. But if they are enchanted or something like that, it can be handy to slow them down. But it's an okay weapon, good in the right situations. Not sure I would spend all the gems just to get it, but it is a faction's weapon. So yeah, there's the video. Thanks for watching. Catch you again next time. Bye for now.